Good day, Internet. Today I'm going to cover shop manuals and guides and various sources of information. So, okay then. You got your shop manuals. It's sometimes called factory or service manual. That's technically comes from the manufacturer and is the best one to get for sure. It's the most expensive usually. Often has the most information, most specific to your brand and model. The other versions of those shop, factory, or service manuals, sometimes called repair manuals, are the Clymer or Haynes publication manuals. Quite honestly, about the first quarter of the book is just repeated stuff of a general shop information that not very useful, so you're wasting that much space. And it depends. They get pretty good sometimes, but at times they just don't cover a few things, and they are very generalized. You wouldn't want to use one of those for, like, say, a transmission rebuild on a specific model. They kind of gloss over a few things. One thing I find irritating with those too is the photographs are pretty bad. They're usually not illustrative as you'd want them to be, and they're almost 100% in black and white, so you don't get that cue. And if you've happened to get a PDF version bootleg or a photocopy, the photograph's going to be that much worse. So just be warned there. Not bad to have the Clymers or Chiltons, but the factory from the OEM manufacturer is the ultimate, the best, if you're doing any kind of serious work. And like I said, it has a lot more information in it. There's another guide called a parts guide, and that's getting kind of obsolete these days. I'll show you a little later the trick I use to the manufacturer's part number. Those are kind of old school now because stuff's online, what they call a cross-reference lookup. So if you're wondering if a part from a 2014 will fit a 2015, those parts guides would tell you. But stick around and I'll show you the trick I use to do that really slick. And it's based on factory information, so it's all good. Then going down the chain here, the owner's manual, that comes with a bike. It's usually a small little booklet form, but I'd say 99% of those things can be got online. I just Googled a 2018 Goldwing GL 1800, and the first result was a PDF of the owner's manual. So excellent. It's right there. You could even put it on your phone if you needed to. So what's in the owner's manual is operational and safety related items, and also the minor maintenance stuff like replacing light bulbs and how to take the seat off if you need to get under for any reason, maybe look at the battery, and maybe adjust the chain or the belt. Minor stuff. And then it has stuff that might not show up anywhere else too, which is the gross vehicle weight, which if you want to check out the question, how much weight can my motorcycle carry? I've done a blog on that and a video, so I'll post links to both of those down below. The other thing that the owner's manual gives you without doubt, and it may not show up specifically in other places, is the fluid and like the oil specifications. Although, go back, that will show up in the service manual from the factory. Wouldn't always trust the ones from Clymer and Chilton's because they're pretty generic, and they may just kind of did the best they could sort of thing. So watch out for that. So the owner's manual again has minor repair stuff in it, minor operational maintenance type of things, like things you do on the road, adjust the chain, change a light bulb sort of thing, and then explains how the gauges and everything works. So a lot of times you get an older bike and whatever, and you don't get the owner's manual because that's so hard to keep the bike and that together that you lose them all the time. They're on. I've never looked up one and not found it, so they're online, and most manufacturers now even publish them. The shop manual, parts guide, and the owner's manual. So 3 different bits of. They used to be printed, but now they're all PDFs and online versions. If I got a shop manual online, I would start printing it out and create your own usable piece. Take that piece of paper to the shop. I've tried it, but you can't do it with a laptop or a phone. It's just, I can't do it. it's just too much messing around. You want a piece of paper you can hold up and move around. What I do too is print out the ones you know you're going to be using over and over again. And like the maybe the electrical schematics if you got an older bike you're messing with. And you can print it as many times as you like. The one advantage that is it gets all messy. You do an oil change, it gets totally destroyed. Throw it out and print it again if you don't remember the details. So just want to go over that. That's all good. And all that information is usually available online, although it's pretty hard to find a shop manual for free online, except for something back in the 80s maybe. And then again, it's pretty obscure. I've seen manuals available, but they're in German, for example. So it's hit and miss. Spend the $40-50 and get a shop manual. I'd go for the OEM version, get it on eBay. Parts guide, like I said, it's pretty obsolete. You can look that up. I'll show you in a minute. And owner's manual, get them online. So this little trick here I learned along the way. You're looking for bike parts. There's lots of information online, and you get some really cool information out of these sites that sell parts, OEM parts, let's say. So in this case, it's a Bike Bandit, but there's a few more. They think they all use about the same system. You go for parts, and OEM parts is what you're looking for, of course. You go to the year. I'll just pick a 2013 Honda Aspencade, Honda Goldwing. Doesn't matter the model. I'm just going to show you here. Okay. All right, here we are. So now we've got the top level choices here. Body. These are all well laid out and sensible. So let's say we're looking for a small body part. OEM again. It's a cowling piece, the front fairing basically. So there you check around, you'll get an idea of how they've separated it out. There's the assembly that's underneath the cowling. And so here we go. It's getting closer, and interesting. This is called the exploded assembly diagram, and it shows you how the parts fit together, which is also a nice little thing if you got a pile of parts and you're wondering. And right over here, part number 5 is the cowling piece I'm looking for. And right down below, you'll find item 5, but you'll notice there's 5 repeated several times, and that's because of each one's got a different paint color. So by the looks of it, the front end of this part number is the part number repeated, and then the specific paint is the last, let's say, 6 digits, is it? Yeah. Interesting. Now, they're not guaranteed you're going to find all the parts you need here, because when they run out, they run out. And you may notice that the price will go up when there's less of them. So it's supply and demand, and as it gets older, as the model year gets older too. So click on the part number. Go to this screen, which is not much value add at all. Just give you some of their bonus offers and crap. Okay, just to verify it's a Goldwing 2013, but this is the gold here. Excuse the pun. So you got 2017, 2013, and 2012. It all fits. It's all cross-fit across those model years, which is really odd. That would jump up to a 2017. Do you think it'd be closer? Like the 14 doesn't look like it fits. So that's pure gold. Somebody in your neighborhood or wherever locally selling a Goldwing for parts, you to find out what year it is, and then go here and you'll see if you get a cross-fit. So what I always do too is Google search the part number, and you get some information here too. This is just a simple static part, like it doesn't do anything, it just sits there, so you're just looking for a part itself. But some cases you have a part like starter motors or whatever, you can put in throw in a few words on top of that Google search, like aftermarket, availability, rebuild, how to rebuild, reliability. Just one word of caution is that when you do take that part number out to Google, it wants to spell check it, so be very careful. And it's looking for its best match, so it's not an exact match, so you can get off track pretty quick and get off into the totally wrong part just in a few clicks. So just keep an eye on that original part number. Okay, that wraps her up. Hope you found that useful. Tip or two. And have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.